I would like to thank Xylexpo Digital for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. First of all, my name is Luigi De Vito. I'm the president of Eumabois. I've been filling this position for 2 years by now, and I am in the middle of my second office, and I already served 8 years as vice president of Eumabois. I've been in this European association for almost 12 years by now. My professional pathway has always been in the woodworking industry, almost completely. Today I am also the general manager of SCM Group, which is a company in the industry, a leading company in the industrial machine manufacturing for glass, stones and wood. What is Eumabois about? It is a European association that represents about 800 European businesses that manufacture machines for the second wood processing and first wood processing, semi-finished products, wood panels, machines for sawmills, and also represents tool manufacturers and also CAD/CAM companies. So 800 companies, 35,000 employees for an overall turnover of about 7 billion euros. So I can say that we have an excellent representation, not just for Europe, but globally too. What is the role of Eumabois? The role of the association is embodied by myself as a president, and it is to represent our excellencies in Europe and on the global arena. Technological excellences means companies that have been building their reputation, not just nationally, domestically, but also internationally. And what do I mean by representing these companies? Basically, this means giving them the possibility to develop their businesses with industrial policy tools such as exhibitions, one of which is certainly Xylexpo, and many other exhibitions such as in India and Turkey, in China, and IWF in the United States. And for this last exhibition, we've been acting as a partner for the past 2 years. So we represent companies and we work closely with trade fair centers so that our companies find the right way to be represented in the right setting, in the right environment, and they benefit from the right drive to represent the whole industry. The second goal for Eumabois is to identify projects that are applicable across various companies in different countries and that can bring about technological innovation in this industry. One of the examples has been the OPC-UA, a European Communication Protocol for individual companies. Companies have adopted this protocol and they've been working together to define the protocol and therefore facilitate communication in the production environments of the customers. Eumabois has facilitated and worked closely with individual companies and businesses to ensure that this protocol could be successfully implemented. And there are many other projects that are currently being worked at. We are putting them forward within the scope of Eumabois, but also with individual associations such as ACIMAL and VDMA. excuse me, President, is it easy to manage this relationship between different countries and officially competing industries? No, it is not a simple thing to do. We are not used to working in this way, as a matter of fact. And I have to say that there are three facilitating elements. The first one is confidence and trust. Of course, we need a lot of trust. Between players, between coordinators, we need to sit together at the same table and together, jointly develop together solutions that are beneficial for everybody. And the second facilitating factor is added value. So there is a common goal that could not be reached by individual companies and businesses, but the fact that they can collaborate together on the same topics can generate added value. And the third facilitating factor, which in my opinion is extremely relevant, is to develop and identify differentiating elements and characteristics for the European industry. So elements and features that will allow us to compete in the future with some common ground rules. This is a different way of working, and Eumabois is faced with this challenge of disseminating this new working approach, but I think that the businesses and companies are accepting it very well. So let's talk about governance of Eumabois. Eumabois has a general assembly with representatives of all the national European associations, and these representatives participate in the general assembly. The Assembly shares guidelines, projects that Eumabois needs to put forward within the year or in the following years. The General Assembly, which is represented by national associations, and ACIMAL is one of the founding members of this association, together with VDMA and others. And so the General Assembly representatives nominate the board, and I chair the board, and as part of our board of directors, we have Omag with his president that works closely with me, and another representative of I'm Shelling Group. Turkey is represented through IMSAD, the Swiss section of the association with Streaming is also represented, and other participants of the board are VDMA and Archimal, and the operations of the board are supported by the Secretariat Office. That's a secretary officer who is a member of Achimal, but also serves as a secretary officer for Eumabois. So you hinted at the topic of exhibitions. Are exhibitions changing? Does Eumabois have its own recipe to promote and look at exhibitions in a different way? Yes, I would say we do have a recipe as Eumabois, and our recipe develops along three different components. The first element is this one. Exhibitions must be excellence exhibitions. What does excellence mean to us? So logistically, in terms of loading and offloading of equipment, in terms of accommodation services, and overall efficiency of the exhibition organization, we want exhibitions to be efficient. We have parameters which we share with the organizing agencies of exhibitions, and we ask for a very high standard of compliance with these parameters. If that is the case, then you become part of the exhibition network that is supported and sponsored by Eumabois. Companies and businesses can still then decide to participate in an exhibition. We grant Eumabois sponsorship based on the parameters I have mentioned and some others, and then each exhibitor is free to decide whether to attend and participate actively in an exhibition or not. Second element is the technological target, which we also share with the individual organizers of exhibitions. We attach a lot of importance and relevance to some key pillars specifically for the development of competitiveness in the manufacturing industry in the next years. The key parameters include, for example, productivity, that is the ability to showcase technological excellencies and innovation that is oriented to improve clients' productivity. Then there is sustainability, that is another key pillar. And this means that sustainability principles must become embedded in the technological development processes. Examples of these are the energy consumption reduction, decrease in the production of waste and scraps, optimization of space usage. All these elements are required to become part of the DNA of an exhibition organizer, and this drives businesses to show this type of technology and provide guidance in this respect. The third pillar is for sure servitization. These are the three distinctive features that we measure trade fair organizers against. And we provide recommendations and guidance in relation to these pillars. These features are also very relevant to the competitiveness of European businesses. And these elements are also the benchmarking parameters for the Eumabois companies. How do you rate the impact of Eumabois on individual European businesses? Do you have the feeling that your work is valuable and precious? Well, let me say there is a key indicator that we monitor, and this indicator has two dimensions. First of all is the specific project design ability on some selected topics and themes. So, for example, a specific project like PCUA, in that case, businesses were coordinated by national associations such as ACIMAL or VDMA, and under their leadership they participate in the design project process. And this is a fundamental indicator for us. We have direct contacts with many businesses through the representatives of the companies sitting on Eumabois board, and so we receive direct feedback about our actions and operations being appropriate or not. And then there is another specific theme, subject, and that is the technical one. Eumabois represents technological companies, and as you know, Eumabois is involved in all the roundtables and technical committees where technical standards are defined. Eumabois is actually leading some key technological streams, and Eumabois gives voice to the specific needs of machine manufacturers vis-à-vis the intentions of the European legislator that then defines the standards. These two areas of actions need to match to avoid create inefficiencies and avoid extra costs in the industrial production. And at the same time, through this process, the highest safety is ensured. And then there is there are the secretary services that are coordinated by Eumabois, we draw on the competencies of the various national associations, and the national associations alongside machine manufacturers define the specifications technically. Eumabois makes us think of Europe, even though it also includes Turkey, and somehow it also looks at China. And China is a competitor that has been growing in the past decades, and we directly benchmark with on a daily basis. So, what do you think of this situation? Well, let's say we should consider two different elements. First of all, China and Turkey are to be seen also as business markets. In fact, first and foremost, as markets. And so as a possibility, an opportunity for European businesses to understand their mechanisms and find the right and most appropriate settings and framework to showcase their technology. An agreement with Guangzhou Trade Fair Organization was signed this year, and it gives us the possibility to coordinate much better with the trade fair organizers and therefore develop the Chinese market business for European companies. And the same applies to Turkey. On the other hand, we know very well that the Chinese market plays with different ground rules than the European one. Eumabois does not intend to change these ground rules, but still we wanted to influence them. And let's go back to the technical topics in this case. Safety-related technical standards are part of our work with China and other extra-European contexts. In the future, these founding principle of safety for ISO standards may become part of a set of standards that other continents will promulgate. And so Eumabois has in any case the possibility to exert its influence. And the last point I'd like to make is that the Chinese competitiveness nowadays is based mostly on competitive prices, and this comes from some structural elements that do seem unfavorable to us. But on the other hand, European businesses have the possibility to really leverage on other elements that are part of their DNA, such as sustainability, servitization, and increase the competitiveness of machinery. And therefore, they will maintain the technological gap in the end. Absolutely, technological gap and also services edge. The world is understanding that it is important to have new machines, but also find a way to better utilize the current existing assets. Assets nowadays include industrial machines, equipment, and is something that it is purchased and it can be increasingly improved during its life cycle. This means being able to develop new business models. Our companies are becoming more and more attentive in that, and this ensures us a technological edge over other markets. Is there a sort of a turning point that is becoming part of all these conversations, and that's the servitization? So not just selling machines, but a whole system that solves a customer's problem. So maybe we could end up having comprehensive leasing agreements, which also includes a post-sale service and so on and so forth. What is the position of Europe in this? Well, this element surely originates, actually, this trend of servitization originates from an opportunity provided by digitalization, and that is the possibility to experience a real-time operation and life of the machinery as a whole. So machines are machines are connected with the manufacturers with the utilizing companies and the maintenance companies. Digitalization certainly helped and favored this pathway, but that's not the ultimate purpose. The ultimate purpose is being able to utilize your assets how you want it, where you want it, and when you need it, at a cost of utilization that allows the client to ensure a return on its investment at the earliest opportunity. Servitization has impacted already in the traditional sectors, such as the maintenance contracts, and spare parts market. Tomorrow we will probably have new business models based on consumption and utilization rates. Technology helps in implementing these models, and they will be suitable to address the needs of the client, that is to say, to make the most out of their assets. Very last question. You're in the middle of your second term. Are you happy with what you have achieved, and what are your future goals? Well, I'm happy with what I have done so far, because I can see there is a virtual circle that I was able to promote alongside the member companies. At the beginning of my first term, I said that I wanted the individual national associations representing the 800 companies to work hand in hand with Eumabois to promote the business and the industry. So it's a system of associations that work to achieve a common goal. If I look back at what we have achieved, I'm happy because we have completed a successful project, the one I mentioned earlier, and we are now opening a second front line, which will soon involve all the communications technologies. We have made agreements with trade fair centers that are extremely important in the industry, like IWF in the United States. That's the first, the number one exhibition in North America, and also Guangzhou Trade Fair Center. We now have the possibility to work more from the inside of the organization of the exhibition and make a more direct contribution. Under my leadership, the relations with India would have further intensified. India would, over the past few years, has shown its capacity to really play as a business activator in that part of the continent. India Wound is not just a mere exhibition, it's an opportunity whereby knowledge clients, exhibitors, wood industry organizations have the possibility to meet and address the issues of solid wood construction, first wood process, and they all work together to understand how to develop the industry.